I miss you, Alex. How are you? How are you holding up? Are you hurt? Is everything fine? What do you do to pass the time? I dream about you all the time. I'm going apple picking with your family later to help take my mind off things. Especially today. Honestly, they've been so amazing to me. I wish I could be there for you. I mean, I guess I'm holding up. I'm as okay as a person can be when their fiancé is taken by the Taliban as a prisoner of war. Are you happy with your decision to go? I wish you hadn't. I really hope I'll see you again. The moment you get home, we should just get married. I regret not doing that before you left. Canceling the plans was pretty hard, but it was nice, I guess, that the vendors were pretty compassionate at least. I keep thinking of all the things we took for granted, that I took for granted, just going to the grocery store together, watching Netflix instead of Hulu. When you get back, will you deploy again? I love you, no matter what decision you make.
Currently, there are about 1.3 million active duty personnel serving in the U.S. military. Are you ready?
Almost. Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Hi, sweetie. I'm so sorry that I had to leave so suddenly. I hope that you and your dad are having a bunch of fun, but not too much fun. I miss you so much, every single day for every second of the day. You have so much life ahead of you and so many memories you're gonna make that I might not be there to see, and I'm truly sorry for that. Your mommy loves you so much, and don't you ever forget it. Every moment that I'm not there in person with you, you're in my heart, and I'm in yours. Remember how strong and brave you are, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Can you be strong and brave? I pinky promise that I'll be strong and brave for you while I'm gone, and I'll be back sooner than you think. I love you.
In 2016, 15% of military personnel were deployed overseas. That's over 190,000 families adjusting with the absence of a loved one.
I had said goodbye once before. Like when I was going to school or hanging out with friends. But this goodbye, I did not want to say. Dad had left once before, when I was younger. He was gone for a year, and when he returned, I almost didn't recognize him at first glance. I'm scared. Scared that we'll finally lose the relationship we'd finally built back up again. I can't help at all the things that could go wrong. One awful move out there and he could be coming home in a coffin. I heard him and Mom talking about it late at night while I was getting a glass of water. Mom had scolded him for leaving because she just found out I was getting a younger sister. Mom told me he would be home soon, but I knew she was lying. I didn't want Dad to leave either, but I knew he enjoyed his job, as life-threatening as it was. He said that the military gave him experience he wouldn't get anywhere else. He said he would send letters on Christmas and on birthdays, but I don't want letters. I want him there. I want him there. I asked him if serving our country was worth leaving us again. He said I would understand when I'm older. As I was hugging him at the airport, I could hear Mom cry behind me. After I entangled myself from him, Mom had to hold me back so that he could pass through the gates. As he was leaving, I muttered the word I'd been dreading to say. Goodbye.
Hey babe, you look great. I had to run today in 90-degree heat, which felt like 100 because of humidity, and that has to be a thing. Oh my brain is like mush. It melted in my head. You're gonna marry an idiot. Okay. Anyway, you said you wanted to talk to me about something. Yeah, I'll look. It's the cats. I'm impressed you got them to sit this long. That's impressive. Is this what you wanted to oh, the sign. Oh, yeah, I should read that. It says, I'm getting a new sibling. Did you get another cat? No? Are you sure? Okay. I don't know what it means. Come on, you know how slow I am. Cut me some slack. Okay. Getting a new sibling. That doesn't mean I'm getting a new sibling. Yeah. Don't laugh, okay? I'm trying to figure out your riddle. It's stupid hard, by the way. Okay, getting a new sibling. That makes me think you're getting a dog, but you're allergic. I remembered. I just wanted to make sure. Getting a new... Are you pregnant? I wish you were here. Or I wish I was there. Oh my god.
I'd like to imagine my father would be at my Eagle Scout Court of Honor. I timed it out so that he could be there. I waited 6 months to do my project. I went right up to the deadline. 17 years, 11 months, and 22 days before I turned in my paperwork. It was a close call, but I think I owe it to him. He took me on my first camp out before I was even in the Scouts. He showed me how to tie knots so I could go on the wilderness survival camp out. And he sat with me for 4 hours to explain the importance of the Pledge of Allegiance and what all the different stripes on the flags mean. Whenever I go camping, I remember a motto my dad told me. He would go, "Hey bud, never pick a fight with a bear." And I would go, okay, I'll never pick a fight with a bear. I always thought about it in the literal sense, until he left. And then I thought, maybe it was more than just that, you know? Because when I was going for my first aid med bench, we talked about animal wounds. Bears are vicious. If you see one, you got 2 options, maybe 3. You can stand still, puff out your chest, and act really big. You can get really loud and try and scare it away. Or you could try to do both of those things. Or you could just walk away. I thought about that last one quite a bit. If ever I'm in danger and my life feels threatened, just walk away. As a Boy Scout, I've been taught to have upstanding morals. To follow the moral, be prepared, have respect. When I go to flag ceremonies every morning and evening, I salute the flag with the same attention I know my dad is giving at the same moment. I know that everything I'm able to do here, like eat a warm meal over a campfire, sleep under a basic shelter, and peacefully go about the camp with a friend, are things that he can't do every day. And walking away from a fight like he taught me to do, that's something he can't do either. So I hope he comes back for my Eagle Scout Court of Honor. I hope he comes back so I can show him all of the things that he's taught me and I respect so much about him. From what he's taught me about sacrifice, respect, and the cost of my freedom.
I felt empty. It was as if all of my senses had suddenly vanished. I couldn't see, I couldn't hear, I couldn't even remember if I had turned off the phone or not. The call I had just received was unreal. The man on the phone said that my fiance wasn't coming home. He wasn't going anywhere ever. Apparently, a mentally unstable soldier started killing his peers around him. Many soldiers died that day, and my fiance was one of them. It feels like sharp pains hitting my chest. And that's when I hear the phone ring. I press the green button to start the call. You reported the wrong soldier's death? My fiance's coming home? No, this has to be fake. I press the red button to end the call. They don't get it wrong. They don't get it wrong. And then I hear my children crying. Before I can even run to them, I see their father. He's walking through the door. No, this is fake. It can't be real. It doesn't matter. I run to them anyway.
There are about 2,500 dogs in active service today and 700 deployed overseas.
My human left me forever ago. She left me with some random human. I have never, ever been fed so little in my life. I hear a car. I have to defend the house. I bark as loud as I can. The door opens. Then I sniff. This person smells familiar. Very familiar. It's Mommy! I tackled her to the ground, rubbing my smell all over her whether she likes it or not. She gives me plenty of kisses, and I lick her face. We cuddled for ages upon ages. She gave me plenty of treats, and I felt full of joy. That night, we slept together, and I had the best night's sleep since she had left.
The United States has 737 military institutions overseas alone.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, how are you doing?
How am I doing? Come on, you can do better than that.
Well, I'm just asking, I just want to know. I haven't talked to you in a while.
Yeah. So, heard you lost your leg. That can't be good for football.
Well, I'll get better. Yeah, trust me. I'll get better.
So I'm going out on a limb here, and I'm just guessing, but were the phones down there also amputated? Because you never called us, so that's the only solution, right?
Dustin, come on. You know it's hard to communicate over here.
Yeah. At least that's what everyone's been telling me, but I know these other kids, and they said that their dad, who's also in the military, calls them every week. So I guess I just wasn't part of that package deal, you know?
Come on, Dust. You know, I am busy. I would have called you. It's just, I've got so much going on, you know?
Yeah. Well, so did Mom. She had to take care of us by herself. And you know, Sarah, I had to take care of her when I was 6. I didn't know how to brush my teeth properly, but I had to take care of my 3-year-old sister. And you know something else? You know how sad it was when I saw my mom cry for the first time? And I knew there was nothing I could have done to help her. And there was just this big hole. And I know you were the only thing that could fill that hole. But you were gone.
Dustin, you know I feel bad about that. But I'm serving my country. And I'm doing what I love. And I love you guys. But that's not going to keep me from doing important things. And it does not mean that I want to be away from you.
You're doing what you love? I thought you loved us. I remember when I was 5 and you were leaving. And you said you loved us. And then you're going to call. But you didn't call. It was a lie. And I don't know if loving us was a lie as well.
Dust, you know it was not a lie. I would never lie about that stuff. And you know I love you guys. Don't ever doubt that. I'm just doing a lot of things down here. And of course I can't call every week. You know, it gets busy and it's hard to even get access to a phone sometimes.
Yeah, I guess. You know, I'm going to college. Ohio State. The one that you were drilling in my head and really wanted me to go to when I was only 5. Yeah. I got accepted. Just for you. Did you know that? No. Of course you didn't.
Well, I'm so proud of you. Wish I would have called more. God, I want you to know that I am proud of you.
Yeah, well, I'm proud of you too. And I know getting amputated probably wasn't the best thing.
Well, you know, it could have been worse. I could have died. But we're still here. And we're still fighting, and I'm getting better.
Yeah, well, now you can't tell me that I can't skip leg day. I mean, you even have a leg.
Well, I can still do other things, you know. And I'll get some prosthetics. I'll be running circles around you.
Yeah. Hey, when you were there, did you miss me?
I miss you every single day. You, Mom, and Sarah. Every day.
Yeah, well, I missed you too. And I know you have a lot of stuff down there, so I won't keep you here with me for too long. But it was really nice talking to you.
Well, it was great to finally get to talk to you too. And I know it's been hard and I haven't been there, well, a lot, but I'll try my best. I promise.
Thank you. I'll talk to you soon. I love you.
I love you too.
The United United States Armed Forces orchestrates between 420,000 and 450,000 permanent change station moves for military families annually.
This wasn't the most merry of Christmases that I ever had. The house looked perfect, with the tree as its centerpiece. It was covered from head to toe with ornaments, and underneath was littered with presents for everyone in the family. Mostly the kids, my little boy Hunter included. My wife Lily and I had adopted Hunter about a year ago, which meant this was his first Christmas with us. Or with me, at least. Lily was still abroad for the army. And while I was so proud of her, I just wish she could have been home for Christmas. My mom and Lily's mom were in the kitchen, making the traditional Christmas feast, while my sister-in-law was helping Hunter and his cousins with decorating Christmas cookies. My dad and Lily's dad were talking about a recent sports game, while my grandparents, my sister, and my brother-in-law were watching Christmas movies. I was walking around in my holiday dress, greeting everybody and making sure they had everything they needed, because Christmas was at my house this year, so I had to be a good host. And as soon as I was about to go help Hunter and his cousins make Christmas cookies, the doorbell rang. And as I was walking to the door, I noticed my brother's car in the driveway. And when I opened it, there stood my brother, with a big smile on his face, and his camera pointed at me. I looked at him confused, until then he moved out of the way. And that's when I saw Lily. She was in her uniform, holding a whole bunch of wrapped gifts. My brother had to take those gifts while I hugged my wife as tight as I could. It really was a Merry Christmas after all.
The share of women in the enlisted ranks have increased sevenfold, from 2% to 14%, and the share among commissioned officers have quadrupled, from 4% to 16%.
It's been about 10 years without her. She was everything to me. My best friend, wingwoman, my personal comedian. She taught me everything I knew. She was honestly the best, and she always fought for what's right, no matter what the situation was. I didn't see her much in my childhood, but she was my mother, and I loved her. Growing up, I really didn't understand where she was most of the time, but that was until the notification officer showed up. He only said one sentence, just one. And I've never seen two grown men cry harder than my brother and my father. He explained that my mother was gone and wasn't coming home. 2 months later, I had to attend my own mother's funeral. I remember not even being able to go up to her casket because I couldn't look at my mother. During the funeral ceremony, they gave her an American burial plaque and played a sad tune. I couldn't even look at her during that. It even took me a while to go visit her own grave. And when I did, I told her how much I missed her and wanted to see her one last time. But I also made her a promise to follow in her footsteps and make sacrifices for our country just like she did. I'm now 23 years old and serving in the U.S. Army. I serve as a combat officer, and I save our wounded from death and make sure they can go home and see their families, because no child should be told that their mother isn't coming home. Without my mother's inspiration, I wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't be where I am today. So, thank you, Mom.
He's fine. He misses you. Was it worth it? Going? You could have gone anywhere, studied medicine, anywhere. And I love that you wanted to help people. But it wasn't supposed to end like this. You were a doctor in a hospital. Was it worth it? Going? I mean, did you not feel fulfilled with me and Henry? Were we not good enough? I just wish I fought harder. I mean, we fought about it for weeks, and I just, maybe if I just fought harder, and I'm just so stubborn, I thought I would win just by sheer willpower and force. But, there's no way my stubbornness could ever beat your empathy and compassion. It's one of the things I love about you. It's why I married you. No matter how many times we thought about you going or what to have for dinner, I loved you, right? I still do. I'll try for Henry, but can you promise that you'll watch over us? He won't forget you anytime soon. I mean, not with your sister around. She has been showing him all of your childhood photos, and oh my gosh, Spence, those glasses you used to wear when you were 8, Spencer, those were bigger than your head. I love you so much. I'm still mad, but not at you. That was selfish of me. Things happen, but you have to handle them the best you can. You taught me that. I love you so much.
It is estimated that about 30 out of every 100, or 30% of Vietnam veterans have had PTSD in their lifetime.
Daddy comes home today. He's finally gonna be home. I've been waiting forever for him to come back. Can't wait to tell him what all we did while he was away. I mean, I got a gold star on my addition problems. We made a new friend, Susie. Susie told me her daddy flies planes across the country. So I had to tell her that our daddy flies planes across the world. But we don't get to see him very much. I can't wait to show him the new stuffed animal Mommy got me for my birthday. And I can't wait to tell him about all the friends that came to my birthday party. I wonder how many people came to his birthday party. I'm so glad he's coming home. When he comes home, I'm gonna give him the biggest hug in the world, and we're gonna play soccer, and we're gonna make his special muffins with Mommy, and we're just gonna be the perfectest family in the world.
Hey Mom, I'm here watching Grandpa. He was sleeping in his favorite spot on the couch, just like you said. Oh, and can you tell Grandma to turn the ringer down a bit? The phone rang and woke him up. I said, "Good morning, Grandpa. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon." He then sat up, pointed his finger and said, "When I was a drill sergeant in the Air Force, I used to wake up 50 recruits at 6 in the morning." I bet you never heard that one before. I did hear a news story today, though. Grandpa told me the story and how he learned how to play hearts. He used to sit in the mess hall for hours and would just watch the guys play, and he
slowly started to understand the game. One day, a chair was empty, and this big, burly guy pointed at him and said, "Hey you, wanna play?" Grandpa said he was terrified. He then said, "It's the only time I've ever lost." And it's true, he always wins. You know, sometimes I think it's interesting how Grandpa can't remember anything that's happened in the last 20 years, but he really remembers his good times in the Air Force. Being a part of the military must have meant a lot to him.
I'm sitting there in class and my mind starts to drift. I'm thinking about my dad. I miss him. He's been gone for 6 months now, but it feels like a lifetime, you know? I fidget with the small teddy bear that I keep in my desk. He gave it to me right before he left. That's how I remember him, you know? While I'm dozing off, I hear Mrs. Brown announce to the class that we're gonna have a special visitor today. This piques my interest and I begin to listen. She walks to the door and beckons for the visitor to come inside. Immediately, I recognized him. I bursted out from my chair and sprint full speed into his arms. "Dad!" I exclaim. My eyes well up with tears as I sprint full speed into his arms. He holds on to me with all the strength that he has. "You're finally home,"